Right, did I disturb you?
Hmm.
So thank you so much, Freder, for joining again. I think it's mostly you and me for a few sessions,
Yes,
but that's
but
okay. I think
it,
it's a
it
very
not depends
interesting
on the
journey.
number, no?
Yes,
So-
it's not about the number. So today we are talking about Canto, second Canto, the issue.
Mhm,
And one thing I want to try out today, since the intention of this research is to see how our work and what we are looking for reflects in the lines of Savitri. And that's why I haven't studied Canto 1. I want to try and experience those lines firsthand here in the session and see if we can reflect something. And of course, we can take a help of the software or the AI app
mhm.
that we have created to validate our understanding, and we can try to uh, play with it a bit more. But that's my that was my intention before coming for a session today.
Mhm.
How would I want to hear your thoughts? Like, how would you like to go about it in the next 1 hour?
For me, it's fine in that going in that direction. Of course, I read um, the epilogue last time, or I listened to it in the car when I drove. It was the German translation, and then I understood it's extremely beautiful. Also, the epilogue,
Absolutely.
and
It's
there are also interesting psychologies situations behind. But let's start on Canto 2.
sure. So, what I have done is, shall I share my screen?
Yes, please.
I'll just share the lines of Savitri for the second issue.
Hmm.
I've used this website called Incarnate Word, and it has all the works of the Mother and Sri Aurobindo. Uh, it also gives the audio, but I'm not very fond of it because it doesn't. I mean, listening to Shadavan reading lines of Savitri or listening to Mother reading lines of Savitri is a very different experience, and I'm more used to that. And compared
I
to that,
see.
it feels artificial. But if you want, I can read aloud or we can read in our minds, whichever.
Please, you can read. That's fine for me.
Okay. So please forgive any mistakes. These are the very first time I'm reading these lines. So
No problem.
a while withdrawn in secret fields of thought, her mind moved in a many imaged past that lived again and saw its end approach. Dying, it lived imperishably in her, transient and vanishing from transient eyes, invisible, a fateful ghost of self. It bore the future on its phantom breast. Would you like to read the next passage, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I can try also. Along the fleeting events far backward trail regressed the stream of the insistent hours, and on the bank of the mysterious flute, purpled with well-loved forms now seen no more, and the subtle image of things that were, her whiteness spirit stood reviewing time.
Should we take these two passages under consideration or you want to go more?
I have to see. No, I think it's fine, these two passages, yeah.
Any particular words that stood out for you from the point of view of your work or the work that you're doing? Yeah.
In that case, um, I I'm a little bit trained to see always the approach where Sri Aurobindo, let's say, describing how he moved from earth to spirit. And that's always interesting. So, for example, the last one, her whiteness spirit stood reviewing time. So he likes always to use these terms whiteness or infinity, and that I can again see here. And it's, now what means that whiteness spirit stood reviewing time? It's an interesting sentence, the last one.
Yes. Her witness spirit stood reviewing time.
Witness, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yes, it's a very profound statement. Stood reviewing time. Her witness spirit. What does it mean by spirit in this particular sentence? Her witness spirit stood
And
reviewing time. Does it
my
mean?
feeling is it's herself. Um, and the self is the witness, and reviewing the time what happens.
Right. Because Savitri herself, if we see the symbolism of Sri Aurobindo in this book, Savitri herself is the divine word, no? She herself is there to come and rescue Satyavan, who has forgotten. He's the forgotten mind.
Mm.
So,
Uh, Also, when you look in the chapter before, invisible, a faithful ghost of self.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's something like this description of self.
Yeah.
And one of the famous sentence what I found is find out your soul, recover your high self. So it describes something similar. So
Mm.
the self is not the soul, but it's one can say uh, it's an opening, let's say, from the soul to the self.
Mm.
But well, it's because I wanted to understand what is the self, uh, and I found not so clear answer, because sometimes people saying there's a higher self, but then is the question, what is this higher self in comparison to the soul?
Yes.
And what my feeling is that for Sri Aurobindo is not that higher self in that way existence, because he not so much right about it. But it's the combination when you open the soul, then also you come in that atmosphere of self.
Mhm.
So, and the self is the part or the spirit in us, which of course is in the divine.
I mean, what is reminding me is I mean, if I can connect it with the work that I'm doing right now.
Yes,
As I said, I was working on the alphabets of Sanskrit,
yes.
where I found that Sri Aurobindo has given the spiritual um, significance for each of those alphabets. And
Hmm.
the very first alphabet is the sound that comes, you can produce without doing any much effort. Like if your tongue and mouth is not touching anywhere, the easiest sound that you can produce is
Okay.
and so is a very basic sound, and he defines this as an absolute existence.
Hmm.
So, Frederick, if just 1 minute.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
No problem.
So this is an absolute existence of the sound. And the fun part about Sanskrit language is when you go anywhere after this alphabet, it's always a part of each of the varna or syllable. So you cannot say ka without a.
Yes.
So it's always there.
Hmm.
For me, when I read this, her witness spirit stood reviewing time. I'm reaching in the phase in my research where I feel that these 50 alphabets, which are part of the Sanskrit, they kind of, this is the expression of condensing the knowledge beyond time, in time and space. So the forms that are created.
Hmm.
And the very interesting name given to it is called matrikas, means mothers. These are 50 mothers. So each alphabet, whether you say ka, kha, ga, each one of
Hmm.
them are mothers, giving some significance. But behind each alphabet, a is the ever existing reality. That sometimes, for me, for now, when I read this line, her witness spirit, because a
Hmm.
is not really doing any changes except being there, more like a
Hmm.
witness, always present.
Ah, I see. Yes. Hmm.
So that was
Uh,
very interesting for me. That came out
okay.
for me through this line, especially the last line. And then, yeah, also, I mean, there is a lot we can talk about Matrika Chakra, but uh, for now, I think this was my take on this. Should we
Hmm.
continue?
Yes, please.
All that she once had hoped and dreamed and been flew past her eagle winged through memory's skies, as in a many hued flaming inner dawn, her life's broad highways and its sweet bypaths lay mapped to her sun clear recording view. From the bright country of her childhood's days and the blue mountains of her soaring youth, and the paradise groves and peacock wings of love, to joy clutched under the silent shadow of doom. In a last turn where heaven raced with hell, 12 passionate months led in a day of fate.
It seems that that's the description of what will happen, isn't it?
Yes, yes. I think we are standing at a point where we are done with, she lived 1 year of her married life, no? And she wakes up on a day, I think. She's
Yeah.
not very happy. She's in Canto 1, we saw that it was a beautiful dawn for everybody, but not for Savitri.
Mm.
And she woke up. So, uh, would you like to read, or should we discuss this much?
Let's discuss one thing what you're thinking about sun clear recording view.
Sun.
It's yeah, a little bit higher. So third sentence of that paragraph. No, down here. Lay mapped to her sun clear recording view.
Leave mapped. I don't have any thoughts at the moment. Would you like to share? Because for me, the profound line was 12 passionate months led in a day of fate, but we can talk about it later.
Okay. Uh, no, I was a little bit surprised that he used sun clear.
Okay.
And so this so it's a more let's how call this it make it more stronger because of course that the sun is one of the clearest thing in spirituality.
Yes.
And the sun clear view is then you see everything.
Yes. There is no place for ignorance, right? Everything
Yes.
is open in the light because the light is shining on it and everything is clear.
Yeah.
But does it mean that the clarity of thought, or does it mean that she's recalling her past and what has happened in last 1 year, or she's recalling her whole life till this point of time? Does that what it means? What exactly it says? That lay mapped to her sun clear recording view, and not, why not just sun clear view? Why sun clear recording view?
Of course, recording, which means it has something to do with the past. It's also my opinion. The view was recorded.
Yes. So then he moves on and says, from the bright country of her childhood's days, and the blue mountains of her soaring youth, and the paradise groves and peacock wings of love, to joy clutched under her side and silent. So from the time she was born, or she remembers her childhood and her youth till the time, till this point of time,
Yes.
lay mapped to her sun clear recording view. To
Mhm.
her sun clear recording view.
So it's like a vision. I have the feeling that she has a vision how it was a sun clear or a very clear vision. Mm.
As in a many hued flaming inner dawn. Inner dawn is a very beautiful analogy here, because Sri Aurobindo took one. First, he started with the symbol dawn. He
Mhm.
started with expressing what dawn really means, and the spirit, and not what it is for mortal beings, like who go on about for everyday life, but what exactly dawn is. And he defines it as mother of Savitra, who is the sun, and Savitri is supposed to be daughter of
Yeah.
sun. So, as
But
in many.
I have the feeling also, I don't know if you also can convince that the Dom is something which brings the sun on earth. So it's a spiritual picture.
Yes.
And it's also a beginning. Of course, every day is now a beginning, no? Because sun rising up.
Right. Right.
Um,
For
so
me,
that,
it
yeah.
comes across like the title of the canto is the issue. So basically, Sri Aurobindo is taking, really stretching out the problem of the poem right in the second canto or the
Hmm.
first chapter.
Yes.
I mean, first book itself, sorry. And the moment he has defined Savitri and the moment he starts this canto, the only one thing that is profound is the clarity she has. I mean, if I go back
Hmm.
uh, to the starting of this, a while withdrawn in secret fields of thought, her mind moved in many imaged past, right?
Hmm.
That lived again and saw its end approach. And then it goes, her witness spirit stood reviewing time, which somewhere connects to these first two lines.
Exactly. Yeah. But I
Then,
think then
sorry,
it
sorry,
makes
please.
sense. So he gets in he recognized what was in the past, I guess.
Yes. She, yeah,
Mm.
she recognizes. So she is someone who, as we talk about, is completely uh, aligned, we can say, with her soul. I mean, if we keep aside the symbolism, because she's supposed to be the uh, person who is aware of her own divinity, isn't it? If I'm
Yeah.
not wrong. Then these are the characteristics of a person who, uh, the way they approach the situation, even if they know that something really, like the doom's, what do you say, shadow of doom, they know
Yes.
that it is approaching, but they approach it with such great clarity, where
Hmm.
they are aware of the cycle of time and they're aware of the periodicity of the events.
Hmm.
And then, but they take time to review everything, what has happened so far, which gives them a bit more inner clarity.
Hmm.
Because everything happen, if we assume whatever happens for a reason and it's correct, that it is supposed to happen that way, then it makes a lot of sense to review and, as I say, lay mapped to her sun clear recording view.
Hmm.
It's the question is why. We don't know that yet, but all that she once had hoped and, sorry, you were saying
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So for me, it's more also which happens sometimes also on myself. So uh, that I'm looking back in the past and
Mhm.
getting some ideas for the future.
Right, right. Right. Most of the times, even when I'm doing the research, when you, when getting stuck, as if it's very easy to get lost, and it's very
Yes.
easy to get stuck where nothing new is coming up, and the only thing, the breakthrough that helps to achieve that breakthrough is actually going back to originally who you are.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that makes sense
yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
So just remembering our original spirit, beyond how old I am or what phases of life I have been to, but the original spirit with which I started my life, which I remember from this childhood somewhere, which stays the same.
Yeah, 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 exactly. And see, this line also gives this answer that lived again and saw its end approach. So
Hmm.
she get all that pictures of past and she lived again in that pictures, but in that moment she can now see the end approach. So
Yeah.
so what will come?
Yes. In a last turn where heaven raced with hell. In a
Now,
last.
I think that's the sentence which describes the whole story.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
In the last turn, yeah, where heaven raised with hell.
These are the moments, these are the moments just before something happening. And you know that something that is about to happen is not good. But
Hmm.
there is always a probability of it going either ways. Like
Yeah.
it will happen super bad the way I feared, or there might be something that I'll be able to do about it to get out of it uh, safely.
Hmm.
In a last turn where heaven raced with hell, that's the feeling, no? Both possibilities go hand in hand. And it mostly depends on our approach on how we address that situation, how we, what mindset we keep during those tough times. That we know
Hmm.
that we are about to enter a very challenging phase in our lives, and we don't know. Most of the time, we succumb to fear. We get afraid that something bad might happen. And,
Yeah, yeah.
but she's not doing that, not at all. She realizes that it's not good, but I mean, she knows what is approaching. But look at the clarity.
Yeah,
She,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So it's a description of her inner feeling. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And as I said, this last line, 12 passionate months led in a day of fate. For me, it was again very strong resonance because there are supposed to be 12 vowels in Sanskrit alphabet.
Ah, okay.
Number of alphabets are 12. And they are called, and there are also 12 suns
Hmm.
in 12 Adityas, we call them 12 Adityas in Vedas.
Okay.
So something really good. And even the vowels in Sanskrit, they are called, so there is a resemblance to sun and the moon
Hmm.
in the alphabetical system of Sanskrit. So the vowels are supposed to be suns. They are shining stars. They come with their own light. They come with
Hmm.
their own insight. They have their own, they are not dependent on anybody. But the consonants, they are dependent on vowels. So they are moon. And there are about 29 of them,
Ah, I see. Uh-huh. Makes
which
sense.
and coincidentally, this is about the same time. I think there are 27 or 29 of them. That's about the same time it takes for the moon to rotate
Yeah.
Earth. So that was a very interesting analogy for me, that how, and it has been called, the consonants are called moons, and the vowels are called suns, 12 suns. And
Hmm.
here, even the time period where Savitri was married to Satyavan was 1 year, period of 1 year, which was 12 months.
Yes,
And what
yes.
is about to come is her fate.
Hmm.
And I know the story, so I know that at some point of time Yama is going to come. So that's also a very interesting analogy with alphabet. So when it comes, I would like to share it. But yeah,
Hmm.
for now, I I can pause here.
I can also share something news in the science what I read, um, because there was always the question from what the moon is coming.
Okay.
So it was a little bit unclear. No? So today we know the moon uh, comes from a big meteorite,
Okay.
which um, drove to the Earth.
Yes.
And but the question was this a meteorite out of our sun system, or was it inside our sun system? And that they could now find out because they recognized that the moon has similar materials as the Earth. So it could not be out of the sun. So it must be also a big. meteorite was built from the sun, from our sun, and they merged in that way. And out of that, the moon comes.
Wow. Well, I didn't know that one.
Yes, yeah,
That's very
me
interesting.
too. It was also new for
That's
me.
very, very, very
Uh,
interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
because it could be also a meteorite which comes from another
Yes.
sun system or another
Yes.
unit, not from another place, but
Yeah.
it seems not.
That's very
Okay.
interesting. Should we move ahead?
Yes,
What?
yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. So now your turn. You'll have to read it if you don't mind.
An absolute supernatural darkness falls on man sometimes when he draws near to God. Ah, that's that's very unpractical. I see.
I
An
have
hour,
one beautiful analogy about this, which I'll discuss, but you finish first.
yeah, yeah. An hour arrives when fail all nature's means, forced out from the protecting ignorance, and flung back on his naked primal need. He at length must cast from him his surface soul, and be the ungarbed entirely within. That hour had fallen now on Savitri. Ah, you have to. Now I can hear you again.
Oh, sorry. I muted it and I didn't realize. Sorry. Um, so for the first two lines, as I said, I wanted to share something.
Yes.
It's something I'm on coming from a personal experience. It's a very simple experience that I had, and that had a very profound insight for me. An absolute supernatural darkness falls on man sometimes when he draws near to God. Um, this happened last few couple of weeks ago
Hmm.
when so basically, as I said, we have just shifted back in this house, and it's been after many years we are staying in this house.
Hmm.
After 2009, I don't think I ever stayed in this house, so I'm not very well acquainted with the things, especially if somebody asks me to move around the house when it's absolute dark.
Okay.
As you can see behind me, the doors are painted a shade of yellow. So I remember it was really by about 1 or 2 o'clock in the night. Everything
Hmm.
was pitch black and I was thirsty. So I got out of my bed and I was going to the kitchen. And there was no light. Like I didn't switch on any lights because everybody was sleeping and it can be really bright. And so I just walked and I saw that something is slightly bright.
Okay.
And right beside it, there's absolute darkness. Absolute darkness. Like you can't see
Hmm.
anything. And my first inclination was going towards the light.
Hmm.
But then I realized in that moment that it was not the door, it was not the way to the kitchen, it was the door. It was not fully closed, it was slightly like this.
Ah, yes,
And
yes.
because it's painted yellow, it was appearing slightly bright in the darkness. If I would have continued in my half asleep where my eyes were not fully open, I would have bumped myself and I would have hurt myself. Whereas I chose to go in the more darker space instead of
Yes.
following the light. And the more I was going towards where I wanted to go, what I was seeking, it was always the darkest patch of the surrounding.
Hmm.
And around me, wherever there were things where I will not reach my destination where I wanted to go because I wanted to have water, I was thirsty, it wouldn't have led me there. And that time I realized that if I really want to seek something,
Hmm.
and if the darkness is there, because usually we follow light, we seek light.
Hmm.
And one of the very easiest things to fall prey to is a slight hint of light.
Hmm.
Because when absolute light is there, it's like sun clear. What
Hmm.
was shown, in this line,
Yes,
sun
yes.
clear view. It's not a hint of light. Light never comes as a hint. It's always
Hmm.
a sun clear view,
Hmm.
right? Everything that is a hint of light is somewhere that is the ignorance. So if we talk in terms of good and evil and ignorance and knowing and knowledge, ignorance always veils like light. It feels like a hint of light. And our
Hmm.
basic instinct is to go towards it, but we must choose to go towards the darkest. The more dark places we go,
Hmm.
that is the work without getting feared.
Hmm.
That's when the even the smallest light will shine really bright. No, it's only the darkness that gives value to the light. And
Hmm.
that this sentence on man, sometimes when he draws near to God, an absolute supernatural darkness falls. It gets darkest before. So for me,
Hmm.
these two lines are really profound. Because
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that smallest incident that I had. So yeah, it can
Hmm.
change. Somehow these days when I go through challenges or when I'm seeking something or when I'm going through tough times, I choose to go through the darkest times. I prefer that over having those slight hints of comfort. That incident has changed my perspective completely.
I see. Yeah,
Because
it's
when
interesting experience that you're
when
sharing. Um, and I have to think, okay, if so from the psychology, also how to move on. Um, so for me, is there a kind of contradiction, what I see in that sentence, which makes our life, let's say, more uncomfortable, especially if you seek to God. And then that seems, but when you have so many description and sharings of people, which I not in the moment see so clear for myself, that they when they have some God experience, that on the other hand, some worse thing happens. And it's interesting that he used this absolute, of course, darkness. So, um, which absolute he only used in terms of the divine. But here he also used that. And then uh, supernatural. It's not only natural, it's supernatural.
Sri Aurobindo
Um,
said that the ignorance is it's so veiled, you know. The deeper you go, the darker it gets.
yeah.
And yeah, so maybe that's the supernatural darkness. Anything
Mm.
from the point of view of science you see in these lines? If you want, we can stop here and we can continue from a point she had reached where life must be right. We can discuss that in the next session because I see it's already 8:55.
Yeah, yeah, I see. Uh, let's think about if there is something from the science. Um, can you move to the sentence again?
Yeah. Should I go down a little?
Yeah, yeah, go down that I can see it. I think from the description of science, we have this law of Murphy,
Murphy's Law. Yeah.
Murphy's law. So something like that comes in my mind. An hour arrives when fail all nature's means.
Okay. Could you please share a bit more about it? Because it's not clear to me how this line, uh, what connection it has with Murphy's Law.
Um, so um, the question is why not everything works well. Um, so we are living in a world, and then you have this description of Murphy's law.
Mm.
So if you do something, always there will happen something which you fail.
Okay.
And if you look on as a scientist, so the most important behavior of a scientist is that he not lost his target or that he continue work on things. Uh,
Right.
but so many times you measure and he fail and he got some results and then there was a failure in the measurement and he has to continue.
So anything that has to go wrong will go wrong.
Yes,
Hmm. An hour arrives when fail all nature meets. Wow, very profound. I never
yeah.
thought of it from Murphy's Law of point of view. Thank you for wonderful, wonderful.
And of course, Murphy's law is also this contradiction to the divine, huh?
Yes, yes,
In, in what kind of world we are living. And when we look at the two sentences before, it's he describes this. Of course, and that's interesting um, that he writes here sometimes and not
right,
always.
right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
there are
yeah.
some moments in life or in time where exactly this happens.
Hmm.
So he
True.
brings the aspect of time also inside
Yes, yes,
because it not always happens.
yes.
And
But I
that's
think,
all. Yeah,
no, no, please,
please.
please. You finish it and then I'll share.
That is also what I feeling. So in November was a month for me where always something fail and
Yeah,
so it not really works things. And then suddenly in the beginning of December, there comes a clarity which I could not influence, no? And then suddenly everything works well, no? Or goes well.
I understand. I understand. There are some phases like this. I had this period for almost that this phase of my life when nothing is working out lasted almost for 3 years in my life.
Yeah,
And when it works, it just works, with the same amount of effort that you are putting, maybe a little less, but feels like something is just aligned. Uh, what I wanted to share about this is when this line, an hour arrives when fail all nature's
yes,
means. Very beautiful line, and I know. I mean, it's a new insight for me to have connection with Murphy's law like that. But one of the lines which just comes before that, in a last turn where heaven raced with hell, these are just again the moments before failure. You know,
yeah.
where Sri Aurobindo states about the possibility of turning the tables around. You know, slightly sounds like a contradiction to Murphy's law, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
Like,
no. I think it's not in that case a contradiction because he describes that we are living not in heaven,
yeah,
uh, but we are living in this contradiction world where heaven and hell are on the same moment, and
yes,
therefore they can raise.
yes. I think the more I'm studying Savitri, the more I'm reading Sri Aurobindo, I'm realizing that even the darkness is a part of divine.
Of course, yes. And therefore, he used this absolute
Yeah.
darkness.
Yes, yes.
Um, and which means that is also something. And I think that the next sentence, forced out from the protecting ignorance, again, um,
Hmm.
is there we can find the contradiction of why is this ignorance protected, and who
Mhm.
protect this ignorance, no?
Yeah, yeah. Seems like a necessary condition, for
It's
the.
yeah, it's a necessary condition. Um, and he at length must cast from him his surface soul, and so that something happens,
Mhm.
and be the ungarbed entity within.
Ungarbed
And
entity within.
ungarbed, I don't know what is the meaning, but
We can try to find that right away. Ungarbed, not wearing clothes, unclothed, naked. So it
naked.
means like a bare, raw. Maybe it's in absolute, without any wrapping or cover, ungarbed
Yeah.
entity.
And so that could be one understanding, that always this darkness brings out more and more the inner soul.
Yes, yes. And we have seen first two paragraphs, the kind of clarity which Savitri had in her thought process and the way she was reviewing everything happened so far. I think it was that requirement, that hour had fallen now on Savitri, where the length must cast from him as his surface soul. So basically, she really, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah,
correct me if I'm doing any mistake. She really needed to be face to face with her true self, without any cover or without any veil. She had to,
of course, yes,
and that
yes,
the darkness, the ignorance is something that has helped her. Does that the sense of the impending doom that she's realizing it is coming is bringing this characteristic out
hmm
in
And
her. Yeah. What
yeah,
does it
uh,
say?
uh, that again seems as a contradiction, because in the beginning she was in the paradise,
Mhm, mhm,
and uh, wings of love, no? So when in the childhood, so in the so again he describes the growing of humans, opinion, no? That as a child you are always can be not
mhm.
only in paradise, and you discover a love of your mother and so on, but still there is this protected ignorance, no,
Yes.
in
Yes.
us. And
Yes.
to overcome this protected ignorance, and that seems was important for Savitri,
Mm.
and to find her soul and herself, this is a need. And that could be the reason why he
Phenomenal.
describing that here through our window.
Yes. 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 I think it was really profound so far. The more we talk about it, the moment when we started an hour ago, when I started reading the lines, I had no clue about what I was going to say. But as we read
Yeah,
lines, as we talk, as we discuss, the more and more insights they come, and they're so profound at sometimes. which otherwise wouldn't have been. We don't think about it so actively. So
Mm.
thank you for that.
No, it's the same on my side when I'm reading uh, the some especially in the beginning, then I also not recognize what is behind, and
True.
as soon as we starting with discussing and then something it's opening,
Yes, true. Very true.
and that's the beauty of Savitri.
Absolutely. So there is something that Savitri Bhavan is doing on 31st and 1st, 31st
Mhm.
December and 1st of January. Do you know this?
No?
They're going to read Savitri without a break from first book to the 12th book. And
Ah,
they're doing it in two phases.
okay.
They are doing, like, there will be people who will be coming in Savitri Bhavan and they will be reading,
Mhm.
and there will also be, it will also be happening online.
Ah, I see. That was my question. It's also happening online.
It's happening online. And so basically, each one of us has to read 4 pages in about 10 minutes. And
Mhm.
everybody's volunteering their time, 10 minutes of their time to
Okay.
read Savitri. So it's like so I read, and one can stay as long as they want. So it's on Zoom, and
Mhm.
you can listen to people reading as long as you can, physically, as long as it's physically possible for you. And within for 10 minutes, you can also contribute and you can also
Okay.
take a part of it. So if you want to, I mean, I'm volunteering for it for 10
No,
minutes because
no,
I can do only online. I would love to do physically because going there in Savitri Bhavan and reading is amazing experience.
Yes,
But
yes.
online is also not bad. So if you want, I can send you the link.
Yeah, that would be beautiful. Yes, please.
Sure.
Um,
So
because mm, from my feeling is it helps to connect, especially in this time period.
that's true. That's true. And you never know
Mm.
what insights come out of such, really, when we go somewhere without thinking, no, without plans, something profound always comes. That has been my experience. So going there
Mm.
with absolute open mind. And
Right, right.
Savitri always brings that experience for me, especially. So shall we conclude for today?
Yes, please.
So thank you so much again.